So this is a walk round video of my Mercedes S123 200T, which is currently for sale on Car and Classic. The car generally is in very good condition. It's 40 years old, so it is not a concours car, although it is exceptionally nice inside. The paintwork is quite tidy, although it has to be said it is an older 1980s red colour, so it takes quite a bit of work to keep the car looking as it does just now. It likes a polish, and if it's left out in the rain and the sun, the paint tends to spot up and get a little bit cloudy. In terms of bodywork corrosion, there are one or two very small areas. So on the bottom of the door and the driver's side, just here above the trim, there would be some corrective work required. There's a little, very small area just above the waistline trim on the driver's door. The door scraper seals on the windows are showing their age. They're a little bit split, but they are easily and readily available to be replaced. Some of the anodized trim is showing its life, but if you wanted to invest the sufficient time, that would polish up nicely. The condition of the sills is pretty good. There's perhaps one or two small areas of surface corrosion which just need keeping an eye on. The car has an older restoration in around 2011. Maybe just another little bit of corrosion above the trim on that rear passenger door. Nice colour-coded painted wheel caps. Wheel arches are all in pretty nice condition. I'll show you the front one. This is a replacement wing. Before I got the car, I've had the car for 2 years, so this wing was replaced, so it's in very good condition. You could argue perhaps that maybe the panel gaps aren't as nice as they would be from the factory, but it's perfectly acceptable. The roof's probably the area that suffers the most from the paint issue, obviously because it's a horizontal surface, so if the water dries on it, it tends to spot up, but it can be polished up. Sunroof seals are maybe a little bit tired, but there is a new set of sunroof seals for the car included. I just haven't fitted them just in case I ever wanted to get the car painted. The sunroof doesn't leak and it works as it should, so that's very good and quite unusual on these older cars. One of the areas that can give the estate some problems is the tailgate for rot. Unfortunately, on this car it's a bit bright, but the tailgate is very sound indeed. No concerns whatsoever over corrosion or rot in the tailgate. Just give you a quick look inside the boot. The interior of the car, as I said, is really nice. It survived very well. It's a Palomino covered MB Tex. It's a very robust material, as any Mercedes enthusiast will know. So we've got the original load bay cover and tonneau cover, which fastens onto the back door. These plastic clips are always broken, so I've fabricated up a couple of aluminium ones so you can still use that cover. It still has its original first aid kit, warning triangle, jack, etc. And as you can see, it's all in very good condition on the inner wheels of the rear. These cars have got a little shallow load bay underneath, and that's the original toolkit, which has the original spanners and screwdrivers and things in it. Spare wheel lives in there. It's also in very good condition. That area, I think it's probably an original Pirelli wheel, or Pirelli tyre that's in there. But The wheel wells, etc. are all good. I've painted them and treated any small areas of surface corrosion that was present, because water sometimes collects in those areas. Yeah, so we'll close the tailgate down. The registration that's on the car is my cherished registration, so it will go back to its original registration, which was Alpha 825 Mike Victor Golf, which you could possibly just see has been etched on all the windows, so that's good that it will go back to original. These stainless steel covers or stainless steel number plate surrounds are all new, so they'll go with the car. I don't like fitting screws on the car, so new plates will go back on there. On the other side it's in a little bit of shadow, but this side I would say is probably better than the driver's side. There's no real areas of concern. And the wheel arches, I treated the car with Dinitrol. Any areas of surface corrosion that were on the underside, where the original underseal tends to crack and let water in, so that's been addressed and treated with Dinitrol, but I probably would repeat that on my own cars every couple of years or 3 years, just to be super safe. There's nothing really to report on this side of the car in terms of surface corrosion. Sorry, there is a little bit there. So yeah, I think the doors potentially are an area that another little bit just underneath the chrome trim there. So with issues the car has with the older paint, I think if it were to have a respray, it would really be an exceptional car. It looks nice, it's perfectly usable, gets a lot of attention when it's out and about. But if you wanted to elevate it, I think a respray would definitely do that. All of the chrome work's in good condition, the bumpers are straight, square, front valance, etc. I recently had the front end painted, so that's the two front wings, the bonnet and the front valance were painted, because I replaced this wing. This passenger wing was quite bad with corrosion around the wheel arch. So I managed to source a wing and have it fitted. Again, you could argue that the panel gaps are not as nice as they should be from the factory, but it's not a concourse car, so it's I think it's perfectly serviceable. Just along the sills. So if we move, perhaps move round to the interior, which, as I say, is really nice. It survived very well. There's obviously a couple of little bits of wear. It's padding here, but if you look at the condition of the carpets, the original carpets, one or two marks on them, but it's a 40-year-old car. The seats are absolutely immaculate, no splits or tears. Condition of the dashboard's really good. Could probably do with a little dust. It's actually a brown dash top to go with the Palomino interior. It's got the factory Zobrano optional wood pack in it, and a little wooden gear knob that I've fitted to complement it and dress it up a little bit. So as usual with these cars, this tends to delaminate and flake off and be problematic, so I've spent quite a bit of time restoring that wood and getting it resecured back the way it should be. This is a Blaupunkt Bremen DAB radio, so it looks like a sort of 80s radio cassette, but it's actually a modern radio with phone and Bluetooth connection and DAB and whatnot. And there's a little cable there, runs you plug your iPhone or whatever into it, and you can stream your music directly from the phone, or you can do it over Bluetooth. Armrest works as it should, which I believe is quite unusual. The door panels, there's maybe one or two little splits, you can see that one in the corner there, but overall very nice condition. Headlining's pretty good too. It's coming away from the interior light a little bit there. And in the back, just above the tailgate, it's a little bit wavy. It could probably do with some work, but there's no splits or tears or anything horrific in it. as I say, the sunroof works as in factory intended. The little air deflector pops up, no corrosion round about it. You can see the condition of the seals are a bit tired, but there is a set there to go in it. And most importantly, it doesn't leak, which is fantastic. The car's currently sitting with 119,139 miles, which, based on the service history that's in the original pack, would be entirely correct. So here we have the original plastic folder with the original owner's name, and inside we have the owner's manual, the work record of the work that I've done, which is quite substantial, maintenance booklet, which I'll just give you a little flick through that. So the car was mainly serviced during its life by what I'm assuming was a local Ford dealer to the owner, and as you can see, it's pretty much got quite a complete history going right up to 105,000 miles there, which is just before I bought the car. 115, that's just before I got the car, sorry. So it's 115 when I got it. I've replaced the brake fluid, a lot of the brake components. It's been regularly serviced. I change the oil at least once a year. All of the fluids, the SLS system, which has had new spheres fitted, etc. So all that stuff works. It's quite not a basic spec, it's an automatic transmission, but manual windows, no cruise control, none of the things that tend to go wrong. So it's a nice simple car to look after, and as you can see from the back, it's in very nice condition. The back seat I don't think has ever been sat in, because it genuinely feels, when you sit on it, it's incredibly comfortable, much more comfortable than a modern car. We'll have a quick look around the door checks, which are all good. The bottoms of the doors, despite the bits of corrosion, the bottoms of the doors are not too bad, so it would suggest that it's really just a kind of correction that's required, not new doors. Bottom of the driver's door, what you can see with the shadows, etc. Inside of the door checks. I think the car was sprayed with some sort of wax treatment from new. It's particularly evident due under the bonnet, which I'll show you in a moment. So, passenger side door checks. As I say, the doors are genuinely pretty sound, just need the small areas of surface corrosion addressed, or not. It's entirely your choice. Some would say that it adds patina to the car, but if you're a perfectionist, which you would want to have those rectified, just pull the bonnet. So it's a 200T, pretty much 2 litre, 1935 or something. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Yeah. So it's a 2 litre carbureted engine, built for what I would call serene progress. Certainly not a Nürburgring car, but the inner wings are all pretty whole. The areas down here is not actually dirt, that's the corrosion protection that was put on early doors, so I've decided to leave that. Tops of the wings have been cleaned up. As you can see, all the inner wings are in good condition, as you would expect with new panels. These were replaced. These drains are always rotten on these old cars, as is the internal gaiters that run the vacuum lines through the doors. I remember, sorry, jumping back and forth, but yeah, these here are always rotten on these cars, and I've managed to source good replacements. I would fix all that when I had the vacuum system stripped, fixing all the central locking, which wasn't working when I got the car. So it was systematically worked through and all the manifolds were replaced. And it all works as it should just now. So yeah, certainly not a concourse car as I say, but it's very respectable, very solid. Starts on the button, runs well, doesn't use any oil. As I say, not the fastest car in the world, but some of the things I've done in here, it had a horrible electric fuel pump on it when I got the car, which was giving too much fuel pressure. So it's got a genuine Pierburg mechanical fuel pump reinstalled with a nice modern metal fuel filter to coat with unleaded fuels. So yeah, it runs fine on unleaded, no issues. That's the SLS, the self-leveling suspension tank. So some of these pipes were replaced when I was refurbing that system, and it's had new rear suspension spheres, as I say. So unusually the car sits correctly as it should. Height wise, a lot of the time these estates sit down at the rear. I'll just start it up. So as we can see, nice strong oil pressure from cold. Starts on the button. Okay, it's not a particularly cold day, but yeah, it's a automatic choke system, which is not the most sophisticated in the world, but it does work well. The car starts irrespective of temperature. These tyres are brand new, probably done 1,500 miles. They're Vredestein 4-season tyres, just in case you wanted to tackle the Alps in the winter. So what else? Oh yeah, there is the famous Mercedes windscreen delamination is present, but I quite like that. That's kind of what you would expect to see on an old Merc, and I certainly wouldn't be sacrificing the original screen, which is in good condition otherwise, just to get rid of those little wavy lines. But yeah, so I mean, it's a nicer car than most that I've seen advertised. Some of these cars are asking silly money, unrealistic money, I would say. So I think the car's priced very, very well. It's immensely practical. It's historic registered, so no zero road tax, MOT exempt, and it can go in all the congestion zones in all the cities in the UK. So it's a very cheap car, £90 a year, £100 a year to insure it on a classic policy with breakdown cover. So it's a very, very cheap form of motoring. And boy, does it get some attention when it's out and about. Everybody seems to have a story about these old Mercedes, about their grandpa had one, or their uncle had one, or they were drunk in the back of one in Morocco. So yeah, it's a lovely old car. Just looking for a new home because I desperately need the space for other projects. So hope you like what you see. Thank you.